at you. You're looking kinda weird, good buddy. What's up with the tail? Hey, wait a minute! You swallowed my lucky charm! Come back here! What's wrong with you? Something's not right. We've always been friends for years. Doggy! Wait up! Oh dear. Yoo-hoo, Froggy! Come out wherever you are. Oh man, where could my pollywog pal be anyway?
You know him, you hate him, you wish you could play without him, you wish he didn't exist. It's Big the Cat! Hey yo people, welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure DX. I'm WhiteBladeZero, and if you don't know me, well, I don't blame you. Last time we finished up Amy's story by going through Final Egg and defeated Zero once and for all, reuniting the little bird with its lost family. This time we are starting with our 5th character, Big the Cat, who actually first debuted in this game, or his first debut is here. Now right off the bat we have an optional power-up, right here. And this one has no cutscene, it's a lore power-up. This will allow you to catch bigger fish. It's not important for the main story, but it's definitely worth picking up if you're going for 100%. You'll need it. There's one lore power-up in every hub world, making 3 total. We cannot return to Mystic Ruins, so we don't know what that power-up was underneath Big's desk bed, I'm gonna call it. So we can't go there right away. Now right off, again, like with Amy, Big is pretty slow, but he's huge. And of course, no air action, just a plain old jump. He can't attack in the air either. His only method of attack is his fishing pole, like so. Bit of a slow start and very limited range, but, well, what can you do? It's not like you'll be battling many enemies with Big anyways, considering his levels. Which we are about to get into very soon like.
There you are. Wait, don't run away. What you doing under that car? What's wrong?
Big is like your everyday Hercules in television these days. Maybe not Hercules, but pretty much the example of a very huge, very huge muscled lackey. Big muscles, little brain. Well, I don't know if I'd say little brain due to his voice, but he's definitely got big muscle. Yes, Big can lift heavy things. So here we are back in the sewer. We haven't been here since Sonic got the Lightspeed shoes. Unfortunately, we cannot jump high enough to get up there, so that area is off limits to us. But where we can go, is if Big can go up those ramps, is this way. Before with Sonic there was a crate, but now there isn't. Or at least there's gonna be a crate when Sonic gets here. This is pretty early on in the main story. So, yep, there's the crate. At least I think it's the crate. Oh, there's a little sound clip here you gotta hear. I think it's pretty funny. I like they added this in.
Oh.
Ouch. I'm sure you probably said the same thing if your tail was stuck between a couple doors. So now we can't go back through that area. So we are stuck in Twinkle Park. That's going to be our first action stage, where we will get into Big's mechanics. And you'll pretty much see why people hate him so much. Not only because of his voice, like I said before, but he apparently has a very small brain. At least some people can dictate that. Hard to tell. And of course, there's the mechanics. Twinkle Park Stage 1. It was the same with Amy before, but Big got there first. So Big's action stages are not really all that action. We're going fishing. We're stuck in this area, and all we gotta do to clear is catch Froggy. That's all we gotta do. You think that's easy? Well, I'll give you a few tips and tricks on how to handle these levels a lot easier. Some people I've seen, they do it the hard way. And, well, kind of a surefire sign of failure if you ask me. I'm just wandering around here getting some rings and some little animals, really. We haven't seen Common in a little while, so I think a few animals might help him out a bit. So where Froggy is located right here, he is actually over in this direction. Let's see, can I see him? Not from here. Now, if you do fall in the water, there are springs for you to jump back up, because, well, Big, he can't swim yet. So what we need to do to start fishing, press and hold the action button, line up your cursor about, I'd say over yonder is good. Yep, there he is. What you gotta do to lure him is press B or A, either of those buttons, to move the cast. The A button will move it fast, B button, slow. And that's not the fish I wanted. Nope, I don't even want that fish. One common mistake I see people do when they play this is that when they're reeling in when they get a fish, they press and hold the A button. If that meter you saw on the right there, if that meter goes all the way up to max, chances are you're gonna lose the fish, and, well, you'll lose a life. Alright, I'll demonstrate here what happens when you have to hook a fish. You want to hook a fish, wait until it bites the hook, then press down on the control pad. Now what I like to do is not press and hold the A button, which does that to the meter. I like to repeatedly press the A button to do it. And yes, you can actually move the control stick left and right, up and down, to kind of move in the opposite direction the fish is facing. That makes it a little bit easier to catch them. So that's really all there is to this. Not too much. Just keep following my tips I told you about, and you should be fine with these levels. Now, unfortunately, there are some fish that are very stubborn. If you hear some kind of watery effect whilst you're going through this, that means the fish is swimming so hard you can't reel in, and kind of extends the line a little more. That's the really only annoying thing about these stages. So, yeah. If the line gets too far, or, yeah, you break the line, that does mean you lose a life. So that's pretty bad. You don't want that to happen. And, you know, now that I think about it, maybe I should have waited till later to get that lure power up. That's probably why I attracted such a huge fish. 22 meters. That's not too good. I'm doing pretty bad here, ain't I? Well, we'll get this guy soon enough. We'll get him. We will get him. So I suppose while we're going through this, I suppose I should talk about a few things. First of all, if you're familiar with my animated sprite series Nothing Makes Sense, again, I apologize for not really getting onto that. Just motivational issues again. However, plus I'm not quite sure how my current editing software will work with you know, making frames for the sprite animation. But luckily I did a small test which I may post a video on later, and it shows that it apparently works just fine. There's no worry about that. The other thing, well, again, just lack of motivation. I haven't even done any voice work yet. I know it's been a while since episode 6, but the thing with the series is I don't make it to try and be popular or anything or try and get views. I just make it because I want to make entertainment. If people keep nagging me for it over and over, it makes it less fun to work on, you know what I mean? I know people are excited to see it, but at the same time, what's the point if, well, you just nagged about it left and right and it feels more like a chore than something for fun? You see what I'm getting at here? So yeah, I'm hoping to get on to Nothing Makes Sense episode 6 soon enough, because I'm starting to get back into the job of working on sprites and such. So, eventually I'll probably get back into it, I just don't exactly know when. Also, as I may have mentioned in the comments of the past couple of videos, you've probably noticed the border and the end slates have changed a bit. That's because, unfortunately, YouTube is getting rid of the ability to use annotations on May 2nd. Come on, you sardine. I was so close. Well, anyways. Yeah, YouTube is getting rid of annotations, and I'm not too happy about that. Only because like, what, 70% of it's not used anymore? Or it's like 70% used less? I'm not quite sure. I'm not too big on words sometimes. But regardless, yeah, unfortunately now I'm starting to use end slates, which means the annotation thing, you know, next and previous, I can't, and I'm not gonna add those anymore, which is why the border has changed a bit. And I kind of like it the way it is now, instead of how it was before. Now it's not so much work on my account. At least after the uploading. The only thing I'll have to worry about after uploading is adding the end slates. You know, the whole end card things they have now. Alright, he should be getting caught sooner or later. That rainbow belly. Come on, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Almost. Come on, you sardine. Come on. I'm gonna have you for supper if you don't hurry. I'm getting hungry. Actually, I'm getting thirsty. Luckily, I don't have to do anything except press the A button, so... Sip of water, here it comes.
I got a fish!
So yes, that's what happens when you catch a fish. You get that cool little jingle, and yeah, Big seems pretty happy. I caught a fish! Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they went with that kind of voice for Big. I don't think he's dumb at all. He's just a really big guy. Okay, Froggy's still pretty far away there. I may have to get a little bit more to the side. So yeah, your score for Big, I think it's based on rings, enemy score, I think. And of course the total weight of how many fish you've caught. Luckily, Froggy weighs barely anything, so he's easy to catch right off the bat. So yeah, same with the watery effect. Instead of you hear that ribbit sound, that means Froggy is going to be struggling a bit. But yeah, he's very light, very easy to catch, should not be a problem at all. And if he is, maybe you better practice fishing games.
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
That voice clip was honestly not in the end of the stages in the Dreamcast version. He did not say that.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad at all. Bit lengthy, but not too bad. That used up quite a bit of time, but I'm not too upset about it. I'm cool. And long time no see, it's the Ice Stone. And there's Cream again. I missed her as Amy, but I ain't missing her this time. Nope, there she goes. Now some people speculate that Cream is here this time in the GameCube version, because maybe she's looking for a Chow friend. Which may be how she met Cheese or something, I don't know. So as you may have guessed, we need to bring the Ice Stone all the way to Mystic Ruins, which means you know where our second stage is going to be, Ice Cap. Yes, at the moment, these levels, or rather this side of the story, it's going to be pretty short compared to everything else. Big stages are pretty easy. Well, as long as you don't attract the bigger fish first. Which, yeah, thinking about it, like I said, I probably should have waited till later to get the lore power-up. I don't know why he lifted it up back there, but he's probably like, hey, look what I got! It's a shiny stone! So anyway, Big, honestly, rather surprisingly, he has the highest number of power-ups of any character. Sonic only had 3, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone else had 2 except Big. He has 5, if you include the optional lore power-ups. Unfortunately, like I said before, they don't get a cutscene, but the other 2 power-ups, one required, one not, they do. I don't quite get that. Okay, so our first power-up is right over yonder.
You've discovered the life belt. It keeps you afloat when you're in water. To swim underwater, press the jump button when afloat.
We know Big is not much of a jumper, so Now with that life belt, he's okay. He can just float on water. Now he can swim. At least sort of. As the hint orb said, press and hold the jump button and you can sink underwater. At least as long as you hold the button. When you're ready to come back up, just let go of the button. This does kind of make getting out a little bit different, a little bit difficult. But already we're going into our second stage, Ice Cap. And boy, Big sure knows how to climb a ladder, doesn't he? I'm sure someone else could learn a thing or two from that. So again, as usual, sea level, catch Froggy. That's all we gotta do. What we need to do this time is pick up this rock and throw it right in that particular spot of ice. And yes, ice physics do apply with Big, so yeah. Now, fishing an ice cap, it's a bit awkward, I think. You can see I'm close to the water, but all he does is just swing. He's not really gonna try and get his lure out. Oh, here we go. It's pretty awkward, and chances are the line he may automatically reel in before you even get too far in. I think Froggy noticed. Come on, buddy. Come on, come on. Gotcha! Okay, now let's see if this thing will screw with me this time. Sometimes even if you catch Froggy, sometimes it just stops when it gets too close to the surface. It's kind of bothersome, but it is what it is, and it can't be helped sometimes. Come on, almost. Come on, don't struggle, little buddy, don't struggle. There we go, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, as long as you focus on Froggy, it's no big deal at all. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, like I said.
Not too bad.
Now I'm sure you're wondering, what are the other levels like? You know, the B and A levels of the stages? Well, we'll get to that when we get out of here. There we go. We'll get to that when the story's complete. Although to be honest, I'm speculating on something. I've been thinking, after you clear all 6 characters, one final story element opens. Meaning it's the final story, or the final bit of the story, that is. I've been thinking, should I save that for like the very end of this project? Or should I just complete the story first, and then do all the other stuff afterwards? I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. What little of you see this, anyways.
Oh no, he's got my little buddy. Whoa! Ooh. Glad I found you.
Oops!
Oh, now what am I gonna do?
Sorry, if I had only held on tighter.
That's okay, Tails. Frogs are pretty slippery anyways. So I don't know what significance that cutscene had, but at least Tails got his Chaos Emerald back. Okay, really quick, let's go back to the jungle because we've got a few more things to collect before we end this episode. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit confusing. One of the lore power-ups is around here somewheres. I think it's on the way to Big's house, I'm not entirely sure. But we'll soon find out because that's where we're going. Back to Big's house. And it's pretty dark out here, it's kind of hard to see. You would think with Big being a cat, he'd be able to see in the dark pretty easily, you know, night vision and all that, and that's the wrong path. I want to go this way. Now, I suppose I should have gotten that emblem with Big, since I'll be heading in this direction anyways. But oh well, already got it with Sonic, so I ain't complaining. Okay, according to the map, that hidden passageway should be pretty close by. And I think this is it. Is this where the lore is? Is it? Is it? Yep, it is. There it is. Alright, 2 down, 1 to go. At least I think it's 1. I'll probably know when I see it, but yeah, it's pretty hard for me to see here. Maybe I should have changed the settings on my TV somewhat so that it's not so dark. Well, too late to change that now. Maybe the next recording. Or before the next recording, I don't know. Somewhere along those lines. Alright, I'm almost at Big's house, good. Because then we'll get his second power-up. Or rather, technically his fourth, now that we got 2 of them already. Just lift up his bed table, and we got our next power-up.
It's the power rod. You now have longer casting distance.
You gotta admit, that is one cool looking fishing rod. What I wouldn't give to have a rod like that. You guys probably think the super rod in Pokemon is better. That's your thoughts, that's your opinion, and everyone's entitled to it. So I bet some of you were like, aw, come on, longer casting distance? That's boring. Well, if you want to go for 100% and get all the emblems, you may need longer casting distance, because some of those fish that we'll be getting, oh boy, they'll go deep, deep, deep into the water. So it'll take quite a bit to get them out. Just a regular casting rod, it won't do squat. So, I think this is a good place to stop for right now. Next time on Sonic Adventure DX, we'll chase after Froggy, who apparently returned to Station Square, and see where it is we gotta go from there. See if we can catch him this time. I wonder where it is he went this time. Probably someplace with a lot of water. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Well, until next time, everybody, I'm gone.